Never stop reading the Bible. Have you ever thought about how one single moment can change everything? I mean, for an entire kingdom? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. It's a story that looks like it's about a massive war, but really, it's about two leaders, and both of them are staring down a crisis that's going to seal their fate and the fate of their nation forever. So that really gets you thinking, right? What makes a great leader when everything's on the line? Is it just about surviving? Is it about making those tough calls? Or is it something deeper? Let's keep that question in our back pocket as we get into this story. Okay, so let's set the stage. You've got these two regional superpowers, the Philistines and Israel, and they are gearing up for a huge, all-out war. I mean, everything is about to go down on the battlefield. In our story, it zooms in on two guys who are stuck right in the middle of this massive storm.
So on one side, you've got King Saul. He's the first ever king of Israel, and man, he is desperate. His back is completely against the wall. And then you've got David. You know David, the legendary warrior. But here's the twist. He's been exiled, and he's done something pretty shocking. He's actually joined up with Israel's #1 enemy.
So, let's follow David's story first, because honestly, he is in an unbelievable bind. We're talking about a political and moral trap that seems absolutely impossible to get out of. He has no idea, but he's about to face a test he never saw coming. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand his job title at this point. David wasn't just, hanging out with the Philistines. He was a mercenary, a professional soldier for hire. He was commanding his own troops, working for a foreign king. Think about that, an Israelite, getting paid to fight for the Philistines.
This is a classic rock in a hard place situation. I mean, a total no-win scenario. If he actually fights for the Philistines, he's betraying his own people, Israel. But what if he decides to flip sides during the battle? Well, then he's betraying the very king who took him in. There's just no good option on the table.
But here's where things get really interesting. David never actually has to make that impossible choice. Why? Because the Philistine commanders make it for him. They take one look at this famous Israelite warrior in their ranks and they're like, no way. We can't trust this guy. He's a massive security risk. They were convinced he was just waiting for the right moment to turn on them in the middle of the fight.
So just like that, boom, he's dismissed, sent home. And what should have been a huge embarrassment, right, getting kicked out because they don't trust you, it turns out to be his saving grace. It's a miraculous escape. He gets out of that impossible situation without having to make a choice, without betraying anyone.
You'd think he'd get a moment to breathe, right? Nope. David literally goes from the frying pan into the fire. He escapes one disaster only to walk straight into a whole new one when he gets back home, and it is a scene of just total devastation. Imagine this. He and his men get back, and their city, Ziklag, is just burned to the ground. And their families? Every single woman and child, gone. Captured by raiders. The pain and the anger is so raw, so intense, that David's own loyal men start talking about stoning him. Now this is a leadership test.
But check out how he reacts. There is zero hesitation. He's facing a mutiny, but instead of crumbling, he pulls himself together, rallies his men, finds a guide, and tracks down the enemy. He hits them with a surprise attack when they least expect it. In just a matter of days, he flips this absolute catastrophe into a total victory.
But what he does after the battle is what really defines him as a leader. So not only does he rescue everyone, but they also capture a ton of loot from the raiders. And David makes this incredible ruling. He says, everyone gets an equal share. Even the guys who were too wiped out to go on the raid and had to stay behind with the supplies, they get a full share too. It's this brilliant move of fairness and generosity, and it locks in his men's loyalty forever.
Okay, now let's rewind. Remember that huge battle David just missed? While David was busy turning disaster into victory, King Saul was on that very battlefield, facing his final tragic moments. And yet the whole mood of the story is about to change.
The battle is a complete disaster for Israel. Just a total wipeout. The army is crushed, scattered, completely defeated by the Philistines. The entire defense of the kingdom just crumbles. And in the middle of all that chaos, it gets even worse for Saul personally. All three of his sons, including Jonathan, his heir, they're all killed in the battle. His entire family line, his whole dynasty, gone in a single afternoon.
So Saul sees it all.
His sons are dead, he's badly wounded, and he knows the enemy is about to capture him. With everything lost, he makes a final, desperate move. He takes his own life. And just like that, his reign is over.
What happens next is pretty grim. The Philistines find his body, and they don't hold back. They humiliate him in death, beheading him and hanging his armor up in one of their temples like a trophy. It's the ultimate symbol of their victory over Israel and its king.
But that's not quite the end of the story for Saul. Word of what happened gets to a town that Saul had saved years ago, Jabesh Gilead. And these guys, they mount this incredibly brave rescue mission. They travel all night, sneak behind enemy lines, and they carry the bodies of Saul and his sons all the way back home. They literally risk everything just to give their fallen king some dignity and honor.
So you see what's happening here. We've got these two stories, David's and Saul's, playing out at the exact same time. One is a story of rescue and smart leadership, and the other is just tragedy and total collapse. Let's really put them side by side and look at this contrast.
I mean, this really lays it all out. During the very same few days, their paths could not be more different. David gets out of that political trap, he leads his men to a decisive victory, and he shows what a wise leader he is. He's clearly positioned for whatever comes next. Meanwhile, Saul is defeated on the battlefield, his family is wiped out, and his legacy is left in ruins. It's truly the end of an era.
And this all circles back to that question we started with, doesn't it? When is a leader truly defined? What this story seems to show us is that it's not always in the huge epic battles. Sometimes it's in those smaller, more personal crises. It's forged in how you handle an impossible choice, or how you treat your people when no one's watching. It's those moments of quiet integrity that really matter.
Well, thanks for digging into this incredible story with me. This explainer was brought to you by the Center Studio.